This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the best online retailer for Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 source for Magic the Gathering news and content.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources, jumping into a Magic Online queue with you here on GatheringMagic.com, and I'm just going to click this one, though I haven't really looked through super well. Lots of great stuff in this pack, man. Arbor Elf, any of these green cards down here I like a lot. I love a Frost Titan. I think I'm just going to take a Frost Titan here. I've talked about it before, but I'll say it again. One of the things that I just absolutely adore about the Titans, I think they're some of the very best creatures in even a powered cube, and that's because they're so easy to cast in a fast mana type format, or you can reanimate them. They fit perfectly well into like a Reanimator or a Eureka, you see one here type strategy. I love that. I just think that like a creature that hits that intersection, talk about Emrakul. You need a Eureka effect to get Emrakul into play realistically. But you don't need that for Frost Titan. But if you Eureka in a Frost Titan, you're very happy. Like, especially if it's joined by a few other friends. But these Titans are just amazing for that kind of thing. I think I'm actually going to take Eureka here. God, this is the kind of pick where, like, I don't know if I need to take Eureka here. I might just wheel it anyway. But we could, if we pick it this early, we can build around. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just go insane. All right, there's Treachery. I was going to take Noble Hierarch, but hell no. Treachery's one of the better cards in the cube. In the powered cube, I don't know if it's better or worse than the regular one, but it's still amazing. Like, make no mistake. Card is awesome. What is this doing? Nothing? No chat? I'm still figuring this thing out. Apparently there's no chat. Old Man of the Sea. Sure. Card I actually like quite a bit. Oh, wait, what does this one do? Oh, that's this one. It's kind of cool. I actually like, I think, just picking up a Tundra here. I could take the Angel of Serenity, but I think it might come back. Like, there's not that many decks that really want that card, and it's not a premium Eureka target. It's a good one. It's really good, but it's not, quite in that super high level. Electrolyze, very good. I think I'm just going to take Thoughtseize. I'm pretty open to staying fairly wide open at this point. Interesting. Yeah, so decisions are starting to have to be made fairly quickly here about whether we want to actually follow the Eureka path. There hasn't been that many green cards here. I mean, survival's decent, but like I'd like to put Angel of Despair in the deck. But if I take Eureka out of this, like let's just do this real quick. Now we've got blue-black control, which is a totally fine archetype. So I think I should hedge over a little bit into blue-black, but the problem is there's nothing really amazing for blue-black here. Like Palancron's just whatever. Graveborn Muse is pretty good. So I'm going to take the Angel here and just sort of keep our options open. Wow, there's a lot of red cards. Jeez. Maybe we're something else. And I'm just going to take Blade Splicer. I think that card's really good and a little underrated. All right. I like the looks of a Sheoldred. We could also veer over into Reanimator pretty easily. We don't have a reanimation spell yet. Wow, we wield this Titan. Sure, whatever. I don't really value the breeding pool. I mean, that's an Inferno Titan. Like, that card is a game winner. I'm pretty content to just pick up really powerful stuff in this first pack here and then sort out later. Whoop, sorry about that. And then sort out later how we're going to actually cast it or which ones we're going to cast. All right, here I'm going to take the Underground River and get some good fixing going potentially. I'll take Liliana. This deck would be sweet with Eureka, but it doesn't look like, I mean, it feels like green is very drafted here. We haven't seen much coming. We shipped some of it, so the people to our left are likely to be at least somewhat touching green, and yeah. I think we might just have to completely jump ship on green, which is fine. We've only got one green card. It's not a big deal, though it is one of our best cards, which is annoying. And it looks like nobody's drafting red, so that's nice, because we don't have to face that stupid deck. Sanctuary I don't want. I don't want Carnarium. For those of you that have been drafting with me for a while, you know that I'm not a big fan of these bounce lands. There's a few decks that I like them in, but they are few. I don't generally just run them for value. This cube has Strip Mine, Wasteland. It's got all types of bounce spells. You can Riftwing Cloud Skate them. You can Flicker Wisp their bounce. Like, there's just so much dumb things. There's the Molten Rain effects plus the Ravenous Baboons. There's too many ways to kill a land. I think Sinkhole's even in this cube. Okay, what do we got? All right, we've got stuff. We have stuff, kids. There's Kozilek for the biggest punch here, but I actually prefer Ulamog quite a bit to Kozilek, even though Kozilek's really good. It's a solid finisher, but I mean, like, to me, I put Kozilek on par roughly with, like, Frost Titan or something like that, and Frost Titan costs 6 and this costs 10. I put Ulamog up another notch. Probably just going to take Thran Dynamo here, actually. We've got a lot of really expensive cards. It's a colorless spell that doesn't ask a lot of you and is incredibly powerful, and we are going to get back something. We're going to get back a Mind Stone or an Edict or a Mesmeric Fiend or a Toxic Deluge or maybe a Spectre. We won't get this Glen, Elendra, Archmage back, but we would totally play it. That's the other card that I'm considering, but since we've got a pretty big curve going, I feel like I need to start dedicating a pick or two to, you know, some broken stuff. Let's get us back up on power level. All right, what do we got? Terastodon, I feel like we're pretty good on fatties. Oona's Prowler, so there's a discard outlet that we can probably get back. Duress, Zombie, these are all fine. I think I just want to click here. Otherwise, I could take a Signet. I'll take a Vendilion Clique, though. All right, another good pack. A couple of good green cards here. I'm just going to take Venser, though. This is my kind of card. That's my boy right there. Mana Leak, Worn Powerstone, Cloudskate. Wow, this is a stacked pack, too. I like all of these a lot. Cloudskate is pretty high on my list, but I could certainly see a case for just taking Worn Powerstone and hoping to get back Nekrataal or Shadowmage Infiltrator. I mean, these cards are more powerful specifically, but I think that Worn Powerstone is more powerful generally. So I'm going to take it. All right, finally we got a little bit more of a kind of a stinker pack, but not too bad. We've got Maze of Ith and Hallowed Fountain that we can pick from. And I don't think I'm going to pick a Jushi here, but Hallowed Fountain or Maze of Ith. Hallowed Fountain is pretty good for us. It opens up the door for a really solid white splash here, maybe even white as a main color. Yeah, I think I got to take it. I like Maze of Ith a lot. Well, we're in blue and we can play Shackles, but I feel like Shackles is not going to be maximized in this deck. But even if it's not maximized, it can still be good against some decks, and I'm going to take it. We're giving up a Godless Shrine, which is fine. It's fine to give up a Godless Shrine. Oh, man. Now the big boys here. Probably just going to take Factor Fiction. I mean, we don't have a single green anything. Like, sure, we could just hard cast Emrakul, but that's still just a very tall order. I think we have to let the Eureka Dream die here. I mean, our deck is great for it, but we have no other green cards, and we're just hard splashing a double green spell. That's not good enough. So I think instead I'm going to take Factor Fiction to try to get some card draw going. Animate Dead? Yeah, I'll take an Animate Dead. I like Sphinx, but I like Animate Dead a lot, and I think we might get back that Oona's Prowler. And if we do, we didn't. Oh, wow. Or I actually think that was out of the next pack, but what the hell? That's a really great card in this cube. Like, we're definitely in the right colors. I like Toxic Deluge a ton as well, but I'm going to take this Glen, Elendra, Archmage. I just think it's too good. So Inferno Titan is getting a little awkward. Angel Despair's a little awkward too, but not too bad. All right, there's the Prowler. We'll snap that up. Big fan of Oona's Prowler. I think it's really good. But yeah, I think the Inferno Titan perhaps might not make the cut. It depends on how many more of these type effects we get. But otherwise we can be Esper. And looking like a decent little Esper list. Some control elements, some card draw elements. Yeah, some good stuff. What do we want to do here? Coast doesn't really get us much. Snake doesn't. I guess we'll take Braids, but I'm not really looking to play Braids, I don't think, in a deck like this. Could be wrong. But I like to play Braids in a get-ahead, stay-ahead deck, or in a deck that has just a ton of extra stuff floating around. You know, pair it up with Bitter Blossom or something like that. And then you can keep developing your board while your opponent slowly falls behind. Nekrataal. Yes. Quite happy to pick up a Nekrataal. Excellent card. This is before they had the color pie sort of sorted out. You get a 2/1 first strike in black. You don't see that very often these days. Yeah, that card's actually just kind of broken. Yeah, when you look at Nekrataal and think about the mana that card would take, like what's a 2/1 first strike in black worth? I guess 2 mana, maybe 3. And then what's a terror worth? 1 and a black. So this thing's either on par or 1 mana ahead, but you get both. They just put them together. You just get both. Even if you're a little aggressive about it and you think that 1 and a black is what a 2/1 first strike should cost in black, which it probably isn't. It's probably 2 and a black. Then you're even on mana, but you just get both cards. It's pretty insane. All right. Armageddon's an interesting pickup. This doesn't look like an Armageddon deck to me, but that doesn't mean it's not. I've definitely seen situations where I didn't think Armageddon would even be a factor and have it come down and just completely destroy a board state. So that is possible. All right, what do we open? Ulamog. Interesting. Ulamog I don't think is our guy, unfortunately. Again, we're kind of just off the Eureka plan at this point. Snapcaster Mage can get Thoughtseize. None of these. It can get this. It can get Factor Fiction. Force of Will is an option, although I wouldn't consider it a great one. The card I really want is Primeval Titan, but I don't think that's a great option here either, just because we can't cast it on our own, so we have to find some other way to get it into play, which is kind of sketchy. This pack actually looked really good, and I don't think it is really good. I think it's just okay. I think I want to take Snapcaster or maybe a Sculler. True-Name Nemesis, I don't think I'm such a huge fan of. I could be wrong. I've never actually played it in this cube. Why don't we give it a try? Let's see what True-Name Nemesis does in this particular cube. Oh. Well, I don't think I've passed opposition in a while, and I don't really feel like I want to start now. There's nothing like super pulling me away anyway, so I'm going to take opposition. Good stuff here. I'm going to take the Phantasmal Image. I don't know how good Bribery is. I really can't figure it out. I was talking to my friend Woodrow, and he thinks it's great in this cube. And I mean, he makes a good case. Like, people are playing all these stupid spells, and you just get to get one. It's pretty tough to argue with that. I mean, if you're playing against mono red or some white weenie strategy or something, Bribery is probably miserable. It costs 5 mana. It's too slow. But man, you get an Emrakul with it or whatever, and you feel pretty smart. I guess I'll just take the image and copy the Emrakul. I don't know. Ooh, Tamiyo? And Inquisition and Shriekmaw. Tamiyo's where my instinct tells me to go. But it's pretty tough to argue with a Shriekmaw, and Inquisition rarely doesn't make the cut, though I will say that we've already got a Thoughtseize, so it's not like high on the list. Yeah, I'll go for a Tamiyo. We could use another 5 anyway. I think we do want a few more things at the top here with all of our mana ramp. Corpse Dance, no. I think we just want a Bone Shredder here. Can't play any of these. I mean, we could play Daxos, but he's pretty unexciting. Yeah, I'm going to take Bone Shredder. I like having a little more removal floating around just in case. Which Elspeth is this? Oh, that one? Oh. Yeah. I'm not super keen on having a double white spell, but I don't think we're going to play this Signet. I don't think we want anything else here. Living Death is just okay. I'll take Elspeth, and we'll take a look at the mana in a bit. All right, we can play Venser, which is certainly very powerful, but I think we just need to dedicate a pick to a counterspell. We don't have any yet, so Forbid is one of the better counters. It combos really nicely. The cards, it's such an interesting card. It's just like a hard counterspell for 3, which is great, but you can buy back and discard 2 cards, which is a hefty cost. But it's really interesting because when you get moving with the game, you realize that there's sometimes when you're just factor fictioning and flashing it back and doing stupid stuff where you don't care about the cards. And then also you realize that you can use it abusively. Like I can discard Frost Titan on turn 3 to it, untap, and Animate Dead. It's like, oh, that works. What do we like, Caracas or Daze? Or an Is It Signet? Let's go for Caracas. All right, so Ulamog Wheels. God, we just don't really have a way to get Ulamog into play. We just don't. I think I'm going to take a Ardarkar Wastes here. So lame. Maybe the Sculler? I think I just want my mana to be better. This gives us quite a few, like 3 white sources plus a Karakas, which is also a white source that we can't really search up or do anything with, but still. All right, Geist. Too many 4s, though. I don't think we're going to be able to play that one. Probably Inferno Titan's out. Really want to run that Elspeth, but pretty sketched out. I don't know we're going to be able to. I'd like to, though. Got to make 4 cuts from this. Yeah, it doesn't feel like we're going to be able to run it. Probably don't need an Armageddon here either. I do enjoy Diagraph Cool, but this is not the deck for it. It's either Twister or Port. I guess I'll take Port. I don't think we're going to need Twister. Gosh, another Wrath of or Geddon? Let's take Willbender, I guess. I don't even know if we're going to play the first one. People have vastly varying views on that one. Some people think that you just sort of always run it and just put yourself in a spot where like it's good for you to pull the trigger on it, and that's when you do it. And if you don't, then you just don't pull the trigger on it. But like people like me, I'm a little more hesitant to do that simply because if I put myself in a position where I don't want to play Armageddon and I have it in my hand, that's just miserable. Like that's really bad. I think that people don't always remember how bad that actually is for your win percentage to have just cards in your hand that you can't or won't cast. And so I try to keep that in mind. At the same time, it's not that hard to come up with the scenario, you know, where I just get a little bit ahead, right? I mean, you Treachery their guy. They don't have some big comeback play, and you just get them. It's like, how in the heck do they come back from that? Like, they're just not, right? You just like, Treachery, get them, go. And, you know, and they've put a bunch of resources into getting this guy out. They don't have any lands anymore. Really easy play to make because of Treachery. I don't know. There's just a lot that works really well there. Okay. Don't think we need to start the Willbender. I have a feeling we don't want this rat either. Shackles looks like it made the cut. I think it's good enough. Yeah, I probably have to cut Elspeth, unfortunately. But that's okay. That means that we have a pretty nice little splash of white here, plus we can hard cast Angel when we need to, which is, of course, much later. This leaves us still with 13 actual creatures, but it's kind of nice because like this one makes 2 creatures, right? So we're going to get a little bit more value out of it. And I'm really just talking about that for opposition reasons. Need to make a cut here, though. Bone Shredder probably stays in. I think so. Guess we could kill the Angel. Maybe that's our deck. The mana gets a lot better. Do we want to start Port? We could definitely justify it. We're doing a small splash and it's free. And it's not super critical to our game plan. It's just 2 good value spells that we'd like to have around for various reasons. I wonder if we don't need the Karakas. Just a spell that, or a land that only makes white mana seems not great here. So this thing says 751, but I think we're probably closer to this. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, well, we can kill an island, that's for sure. So that's 8 and 10, and then we get the 3 white sources for free. Sure. Which one of these are islands? This is an island, and this is an island. That's pretty lucky. Underground River and Ardarkar Wastes don't fit that bill, but I think they're still worth running. I might actually want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 islands. God, I really would like to have 8. I have blue sources I'm fine on, but I'd like to have actual islands for the shackles. 8 feels a lot better. But I don't want to go below 8 sources on swamps either. Or on black, I mean. You know, looking at it, I actually don't need that much black. Our double spells are all later. I think I can actually get away with that. And blue is super important to this deck. Okay. Esper-ish control. Let's see what it can do.